Oh, this is in the 60s. I see. Okay. I just thought these kids really like jazz. Yeah.
Mari Krombu Weebs. My name is Cole. His name is Mike. His name is Jay. We like anime, and this is episode 178. Right? 178?
Correct.
178 of AniPro. And maybe, Jay, you're usually the maestro of remembering what number we're on. Yeah, 178.
178.
Yeah, okay, good.
There we go.
Not to belabor the point, but I just wanted to make sure that we're doing episode 178. Actually, let me just take a step back here and look at this from a more macro perspective.
Please do.
178 episodes of AniPro. Wow,
that's actually kind of nuts. When you like every time I look, sometimes I'll look at the number and be like, we've been doing this that long. Like we've done. Think about it that way. We've done 178. Well, probably more like 160 something weeks straight without missing this.
Yeah. We do it for
you.
Why
do we do this? Yeah.
We missed 1 week actually
for them.
Yeah,
we did once when we skipped one when we were at Icon because we were like, they don't care. But
right, because the episode exploded.
Yeah,
that was back when we used our old recording software.
Yeah, but now
high tech solution we have now.
Now we're rolling. We're rolling, and we're reviewing an anime this week. We're reviewing Kids on the Slope, which I had a tough time finding because I kept typing "boys on the slope" and I couldn't find it on High Dive.
Interesting.
But then I finally found it because I remembered, oh yeah, it's Kids on the Slope. About jazz. You like jazz. We're also going to just kind of discuss music in general, you know. We like music, right?
Yeah.
I think we like music. But before we get into any of that, I turn to my friends, Jay and Mike, and I say, everybody should like and subscribe to this podcast. That would be very helpful. Yeah. And then I also say, Jay, what's up? How's it going, my guy?
Hey, how's it going? So I Cole, you went on a rant a couple months ago about how about one of your worst movie going experiences.
Ooh, I do like a movie going rant.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
These are good.
So now I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
About
yes. Give me. I'm ready.
Because I went to Sinners this past weekend, which if you don't know what Sinners is, it's
I don't.
It's a new movie that is blowing up, despite the fact that it's not related to any pre-existing IP.
It's like a new horror movie.
It's Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah. It's Michael B. Jordan and Michael B. Jordan playing twins.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Is it like the movie Twins with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I haven't seen that movie. I have no idea.
Jury's out, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll
look into
it.
Out
on that one.
I'm just going from the poster. I'm going to say no. No, I'm going to say no on that one because it's a horror film, first of all.
Okay. Twins isn't? Okay, Jay, you have to tell us about your experience going to see the movie Twins.
I've never seen Twins, so I can't really give you my experience on that. But I will give you my experience on Sinners.
Right, that's it.
Cole's like, no, I wanted to derail you. God damn it.
I don't know what's going on.
But anyway,
Sinners.
So I went to see Sinners, and I had a day off on Friday because we weren't recording. So I texted my friends, and I first decided to go see Sinners, and then I was like, you know what? Let's see if my friends are down to going. If not, then I'll just go on my own. Like,
I didn't get a text. Just let
I didn't get a text either, Jay. I did not get a text. Well,
Mike, you were in
somewhere. I'm sure you'll tell us. I'll
talk about it in a second, but I will point out you're right. There is a good excuse for me. Now, there's one other person on this podcast that would call themselves your friend.
You know what, Cole? I wish I had gone with you.
Yeah,
you probably would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah, you would have got a good rant out of me. Anyway, your experience.
So the movie experience. I went with 3 of my friends from high school.
Okay.
And like they had no idea what the movie was about or anything. Which like strike one.
Okay.
you know, like, I feel like when you're invited to go to a movie, like, look into what the movie's about before you just say yes. Just like, because if you're not into it, then it's gonna be
But like as a person, I like to just someone's like, do you want to do something? And I'm like, yeah, I'm down for an adventure. I don't necessarily want to know what I'm getting into. I think it's more fun when you don't.
True, but for a movie, like you're stuck there, right? Like you're stuck there for.
You're sitting there.
It's a bit of an investment.
I think I would
not able to talk.
I think I would do the same amount of research I just did, where I just kind of look, I Google it and be like, what is this even? What am I doing?
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, like, I mean, even that is more than what my friends did.
Yeah,
they showed up.
Okay.
They showed up and they're like, what's this movie about? What is this movie?
Perfect. Yeah,
that's when you drop the line, let's find out together.
But so before we even went to the movie, my friend was like, hey, do you want to go to the bar, play pool before the movie starts?
Okay. All right. We're off to a good start. Yeah.
This is turning into a fun night.
Yeah.
We go and, like, you know, we had fun. We played pool. And we're like, okay, let's call it. Movie's gonna start soon. We should head out. As we're heading out, one of my friends gets hit on by a girl.
What a scandalous evening already.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say by a car for the record, but this is better.
I'm glad that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So we're not even at the movie yet. And the night of for a certain portion of it turns into one of my friends playing pool with a very, very drunk girl.
I mean, not a bad evening already. Okay.
All right. Okay.
So I understand where you're getting at, but at the same time, I just want to go see a movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah. Because what do you guys do? Well, he's like, well, he's pitching woo, as I like to say.
Yeah.
What do you guys do then?
Ordinary,
well,
I wouldn't say be a wingman. But in this case, it's sort of, there's a business to what you're accomplishing here. You must, you have a thing you're doing together as friends.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So, long story short, we ended up getting to the movie 15 to 20 minutes late because my friend was pitching woo.
Okay. That's always good.
Luckily,
I'm sure there was no like major critical like plot points that were told in the first 20 minutes of this movie. The first act of the movie.
I know you're being really spicy, Cole, but Jay, I have a follow-up question based on what Cole just said. Did you miss any of the movie? Because there's usually like a half hour of goddamn trailers at the start.
I looked it up after, and yes, there was a lot of stuff that we missed.
Okay. So you did, like, I would consider missing part of the movie, like you got past the Lionsgate or whatever screen that comes up.
Yeah.
If you came in after that, you missed some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we missed like genuinely important plot details.
Right, because it's a setup of the movie.
Yeah. You were like, why are there 2 Michael B. Jordans? What is happening?
What's going on?
Very valid. Yeah.
And, you know, once we got to the movie, all I could hear throughout the entire movie was one of my friends whispering to the other, what's going on? I have no idea what's going on.
Lovely. I love it.
Good. Oh, good.
I love it. Yeah. My favorite thing. You know what? I'm glad.
And then
I'm glad, and you should be glad that I wasn't there.
Yeah. Cole, would you be as mad as I am now?
Oh. Well, like, they're your friends, and like I would feel like I'm just like tagging along, so like I would kind of keep my mouth shut. But you guys know me with people talking through movies. It's it's not my favorite thing.
The two of you are both quite businesslike when it comes to like watching things. So I think you'd unite in your rage here over Jay's used to be friends, I guess.
Well, like they're still friends.
Right?
I'm just like I'm just angry. I'll get over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope they don't listen to the podcast.
I won't get over it.
Yeah.
But anyway, throughout the entire movie, they were basically like, talking throughout the whole thing, laughing and whatever. Which, like, for a comedy, whatever. This wasn't a comedy.
This is not a comedy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so that happens basically throughout the whole movie till the credits. Credits hit. One of them gets up and just like says it like in like an outdoor voice. What was that? And I'm like, I don't know, but maybe you would find out in the first 15 minutes that we missed.
Yeah. Or and like also, if you paid attention to the movie instead of
not
just
talking through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing when somebody turns to me while we're watching a movie and they go, what's happening? It's like, I'm dealing with the same information you are. I have no extra information in any of this.
Exactly.
Sometimes I will be devil's advocate here. Sometimes in like particular movies, like I know you guys are smarter than me when it comes to like watching things. And like Shazana too, she's like better at picking up details of things. Sometimes it'll be like, okay, I forget, is that this or something like that? And I feel like yes, I'm annoying. I'm aware. I'm very annoying. But I feel like that's at least excusable. Right?
That's I'm trying. That's a closed question though, right? Like you're asking, is that this? I can be like, yes. Yeah. If the question is, what is happening? It's got to be like, all right, let me get my notes out to like explain the plot to you again.
What do you mean? Yeah. Like, what do you mean by what's happening? Right? Like,
you're at a movie theater.
What do I need to explain to you, or do I just need to explain the whole movie?
We're on a planet called Earth, and we're watching a movie together right now.
Yeah, a movie is like it's like a motion picture. Like there's like moving pictures on a screen, and there's usually a
series of. You're looking at this right now. Would you believe it? It's a series of still images. Played back to back, giving the illusion of movement.
Yeah.
So we left anyway. So just to quickly finish my story, so I can move on to what you guys are up to.
Yeah.
So we left during the credits, which by the way, don't do that. There is a post-credit scene that I found out after.
See, that's where I whip out I turn on the old phone. And I say to my phone, I say to it out loud in a very outside voice, I say, is there a stinger in this, insert this movie, Sinners movie? And there's like a website that tells you. Yeah.
I was Googling it, and while I was Googling it, my friends were walking out and saying, I don't care, just let's go.
Well, it sounds like they didn't enjoy the movie. So that, I could see why you don't care about the stinger anymore if you didn't care about the movie.
Yeah. I did.
Stay for your buddies. Listen,
because
you invited them.
Yeah. I did.
You invited them. You had the interest in the movie. Yeah.
I could have gone on my own and seen it by myself.
Yeah. But you did have fun playing pool? ?
I did have fun playing pool.
Okay.
Sounds like you should have just stayed at the pool hall.
It's not all bad.
Yeah.
It's not all bad. Silver linings, I guess.
Your thoughts on the movie? Because I quickly looked it up, and it's like 8.2 on IMDb, 98 on Rotten Tomatoes. Obviously, this is quite a critically successful movie. What are your thoughts?
So from what I'd seen, because like apparently there were 2 post-credit scenes. The first one is like the actual ending to the movie.
Okay, important.
And the second one's just like a small little stinger at the end.
Okay.
But from what I'd seen, it was really good. I think like go in with a bit of an open mind, because like the horror tag is a little bit misleading.
Okay.
But if you just look at it as like a movie that like is more like a period piece than a horror slasher thing, you're gonna have a really good time with this movie.
Okay.
It's
because I see a review here from the Every Girl that says, is Sinners already the best movie of 2025? And then the catch tag here is, Sinners isn't just a vampire movie. It's a film about community, racism, music, and guitar riffs all tangled together.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That sounds interesting. I'm interested in this movie now, Jay.
I've heard good things.
Well, if you guys want to go, I'd be totally down to going again.
I'm going to talk all the whole way through.
No, I've heard good things about this movie. I've heard people say like this is one of the best horror movies in years.
Yeah.
So I'm interested. We'll talk off air about maybe putting that together. I know it is tough for Mike to head to movies. But
I feel bad.
Yeah. No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Hey, speaking of Mike, how's
I was just about to pass it over.
How you feeling?
Who's that guy?
How you feeling?
So, for full context for the listeners, because they might not listen last time. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I went down to the NFL draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin, America. Okay. I went with some work buddies, and it was like very different from the Japan trip, because the Japan trip was like a family trip, exploring a foreign land. I am aware of what America is. I'm not exploring a foreign land. But what I did do is I did consume a frankly copious amount of like greasy food and like honestly very good food, and like an entire ocean's worth of liquor. So We drove back. It's like a 12 to 13 hour drive if you go straight from where we are. So we drove down and we came back yesterday, and I didn't drink at all yesterday, and I am still a little hungover today just from drying out from this trip. So it's a problem. It's a problem. Like I kind of said, I don't know if it made it in the episode, but I'm pretty good on drinking for like years, I think, at this point, which was kind of the point of the trip a little bit, because it's like I'm probably not gonna be able to go on many more things like that for a while anyway. So speaking specifically, go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna ask you, how was seeing WWE superstar Seth Rollins? Because I think he strolled up during the draft.
There was a lot of people who showed up during the draft. I wouldn't have known him from anyone else. Was he involved in the Pat McAfee show? He's another wrestler I know.
I don't know. I just I saw a small clip that WWE posted on their Twitter account.
Okay.
Where he strolled out. It was the guy that did the very nasally laugh, if that rings any bells.
You don't really hear a lot of the TV production stuff, so I don't know.
No.
I don't know. And there was also, and this is the crazy part, it was in the parking lot of the stadium, and each day there were 200,000 people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I'll have to send you the video I saw later to see if it rings any bells for you.
Yeah, you send it and I'll see.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of celebrities and stuff that did show up. I can't remember. I'm probably the alcohol is partially keeping my memory.
Yeah, I was going to say you weren't
you weren't cognizant entirely.
No. And it was cool because there were so many people around, and the thing is with big events like that, you're basically trapped. If you want to be part of the event, you kind of just have to not do a lot of the other stuff. Because if you go to the bathroom, it's a 15-minute endurance trial to weave your way through people. And then you wait in line for the bathroom. So you can't wait too long because you're gonna be waiting for a while.
Right.
And then by the time you get back, it's a half-hour journey, right?
Yeah.
So you're kind of endurancing it, and I feel that's part of why I'm so tired too, just because that's a long shift, you know?
That's a long shift, and I mean, let's not. You kind of went over it, but 13 hours drive there and back straight,
that's a long drive.
It's a long drive too, and then you add the drinking to the equation. My favorite thing about your draft thing was you posted a story on your Instagram, and one of your friends there was holding a beer that looked like it was about 2 feet long. And I'm like, what are they serving you there? And then after watching it over and over again, watching the video over and over again, I realized that his Mike's coworker was just holding 2 cans of beer.
His hand was covering the seam. Yeah.
The illusion of it made it look like he was
holding one giant can of beer.
Yeah, you
I should have
told
him he should double as a magician, because he stumped you. He tricked you on that one.
He tricked me.
The sleight of hand is uncanny.
Yeah.
And then you also you went to the draft.
Yes,
which is very cool. And then you also
before you get into the next thing, I want to tell you a crazy story from the draft as well. Because Jay's told a crazy story of his people around him. I'm going to tell you a crazy story from the draft. Yeah. So we took a bus from Milwaukee to Green Bay. There's a bar that offered a shuttle or whatever. We paid and then got on the bus. And we were talking to somebody on the way down. There's these 2 guys. And we were telling them, they're like, oh, okay, you're from Canada. Oh, okay. And then we kind of talked a little bit. And the guy was super nice. They were both super nice. And then on the way back, the guy on the bus made it very clear. He's like, listen, there's one rule everybody needs to know when you're on this bus before we take off. We leave 45 minutes after the final pick.
Okay.
Period. You're not on the bus. See you later.
Okay.
And most people would be like, I got to make sure I'm on the bus. Make sure I'm on the bus, right?
You gotta get back on the bus. It's a long. I'm assuming it's a long way between Green Bay and Milwaukee.
An hour and a half.
Yeah. Pretty far to be stranded.
Yeah. And the guy, one of the friends was on the bus when we got there on the way back. And we just kind of all are listening to him call his absolutely, I'm assuming completely wasted out of his mind buddy, and trying to direct him to the bus out of whatever situation he was in.
Yeah.
And it sounded like it was a mix of frankly having no idea where to go because like he's probably so drunk.
Yeah,
and
they
then
got separated. Yeah.
And then it sounded like he's probably having a good time, and he's kind of like, I kind of like Jay's buddy there. He didn't want to leave. He didn't want to go.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. But like, you're in another city.
yeah. You ain't down the street. You can't call an Uber for this one.
Yeah.
I mean, you
could,
could, I guess.
Uber, probably.
Yeah, it'd be a pricey Uber. Yeah. Did he get back on the bus, Mike?
Huh?
Did he get to the bus in time?
No. He was on the phone with his buddy. And he's like, listen, guy, you're, well, he didn't say that because he's not Canadian. He said, listen, if you're not on this bus in like 2 minutes, he said they're leaving in 2 minutes. And then like, as the guy said that, there was like a brief pause where you could hear the guy kind of talking. And then all of a sudden the bus starts moving. And he's like, well, I guess you're not coming home.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's kind of funny. It was kind of crazy.
That would be a nightmare for like both people. Like I imagine going somewhere with both of you and like one of us doesn't make it. I would be freaking out about like, like Jay's gonna die.
Jay. And we were joking too. Cause like when we got off the bus, he like didn't take his buddy's jacket cause we left our stuff on the bus cause it was locked. He just like left his buddy's stuff there. And my one friend is like,
oh my God.
Are you gonna like take his stuff? Like you guys are friends, you know, maybe still. And then the guy's like, oh, I guess so. And it's like, oh, that guy's just dead to him now. Like they're just not friends anymore. Like, he died in Green Bay as far as that guy's concerned.
You should have just said, I wasn't with anyone. Just like write him off completely.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Let's just move on and get me off this bus. Yeah.
I don't know whose stuff that is.
I came here on my own.
Yeah, exactly. What Cole was going to lead into is, yes, the next day we went to a Milwaukee Bucks playoff game. That was also a lot of fun. Very different vibe, very different experience. I love NBA games. I wish we had like a team more local to us.
Well, we've got the Canadian basketball team.
Yeah, but that's kind of far. Here. That's not really.
It's in the city.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Raptors.
No, I'm talking about the Sea Bears.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's not NBA, but like apparently those are fun games to go to.
They look like it. Basketball is a fun vibe. Like it's just so like constant with the fun and like like the playoff atmosphere was insane because like I think you both have been to hockey games, right? Yeah, both of you definitely have.
Yeah.
And you know how like in hockey games it'll be like, the crowd will go nuts. Or like football games are the same way. The crowd will go nuts, but like during like the down moments, it's pretty quiet, I guess, right? Like there's still a buzz to the arena, but like you can tell like, oh, okay, people are kind of just doing their own thing or for a bit.
Yeah, there's downtime.
Yeah, this was like 2.5 hours of just like straight wild entertainment. Like it was the crowd was like cheering the entire time. I got a bunch of these little towels here.
Oh, nice.
You know, like they hand out free stuff. It's good. I liked it a lot. But yeah, there's really not that much more really to say about that experience. It was fun.
No, yeah. It's just, have you been, like, did you go to a Raptors game when you were in Toronto or have you been to a Timberwolves game?
I think I saw Timberwolves Raptors like several years ago in Minneapolis.
Never been to an NBA game. That's one on the list. Been to MLB. Well, I've never been to an NFL game either, actually.
Really? Oh,
let's go with
NFL.
I went to a preseason NFL game with you. That one that they had here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What did you ask, Jay?
Have you been to a CFL game?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, of course.
I think the only sport I haven't attended would be soccer or MLB. I haven't been to an MLB game.
I love baseball games too.
Baseball games are fun. I'd like to go to MLB game. Oh no, that's not true at all. I went and saw the Cubs in Soldier.
I told you had to.
Yeah, and then we did. It was awesome.
Yeah, go to a Cubs game at Wrigley. Yeah.
Sports events, for sure. Sports are so much better live. You know, like they're fun on TV, but they're just so much better live. It's great. Yeah. I think I will call my portion of this share to an end because frankly, I'm just kind of tired of talking for a bit, and my head hurts. And what's better for my head than to hear Cole's dulcet tones on that beautiful SM57 microphone? Let me know. What's new with you?
Okay. First of all, allow me to screech. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to screech. I'm not going to screech, Mike.
I'm not going to.
No, what's up with me? Not much. You know, this week we had a broker. Oh, no, I can't say that. I'm gonna have to censor that. That's a.
There's many different kinds of broker.
That's true. Yes, a work event. I'll say a work event. And I, like Mike in Minneapolis or wherever the hell you were. Who cares? Green Bay. Mike also had some drinks. I too had many, many drinks. Basically, the whole thing of this is like we get schmoozed, and the best way to schmooze people is to give them free alcohol.
Oh, it works every time.
Yeah, it's free. It's flowing. And it was tasty and good. And the only problem was that I had to be at work the next day. So,
that's truly. Yeah. I can sympathize with you, my friend. I can sympathize with you. That's awful.
So I wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning. I love it when people say that 6 a.m. in the morning. Like, what other 6 a.m. is there?
It's like going to an ATM machine.
6 a.m. in the evening.
Yeah. So I wake up at 6 and open my eyes. The room spins. The room spins over me.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, oh no, I am not
gonna make it.
Gonna make this. So no, I held it together. I had to push my wake up time to 7. Then I woke up and I was like, okay, I don't feel great, but I can do this.
I can make it happen. I can power through. Yeah.
So I did. I made it through, but like all day it was like I couldn't think. Like things that I've been at my job for 10 years, and I'm pretty decent at my job, I'll say. Yeah. I couldn't like function.
Oh, it's a thing for sure.
Yeah, because I think part of it though was I don't think I sobered up even from the night before. Like I think I was at.
What time
work,
did you get to bed?
Like midnight.
And you got up at 7.
I got up at
that's if you got if you tied it on pretty good, then you'd still be.
It would be close. It'd be close. There was a point in the like midway through the day where I was like, okay, like now I can think. I've got a headache and everything. Yeah. And I almost made it through. The last half hour, I was like, okay, I'm calling it. I'm tapping out.
Yeah,
I'm going home
today.
I'm having a nap. And that was my day. That was my Friday. Not as intense of a week as you two had. Jay had a very fun, interesting movie going experience. Mike had a fun trip. And I had a bad day at work, and that's.
But you had a good night the day before too.
I did have a good night the day before. Yeah, that was fun.
I think you.
Catching up with people
unless I imagine this, I think you texted us one morning and was like, "I think I borrowed too much from the previous day."
Yes.
I do remember this. Yes.
I did. I sent a message in our Discord. Come to our Discord. Just saying. I had too much fun at this work event. And Mike responded, and I always like when Mike responds to me complaining about being hungover, because I can use Mike's. One of my favorite Mikeisms is when Mike says a hangover is just you paying back
your debt.
Yep. You borrowed too much fun from the day before, which is just a wonderful way of putting a hangover. And so I paid it back. I'm back. I'm squared up. I'm here again. I'm drinking some crispy boys.
I don't show me that. I would get that out of my face right now.
Crispy
true,
light,
though, but like
Labatt Light.
Alcohol is like, it's a horrible thing, but it's also a really good thing at the same.
It's also music to my ears.
Yeah, it's also fun. It's music.
Speaking of music,
I was like, what is Jay on about?
What an odd thing to say. Oh yeah. Music. We're going to talk about music. Yeah, that's right. Music discussions. So Jay, you proposed this, and I think you kind of just wanted to kind of discuss like some of our favorite music stuff.
I think this might have gotten a little out of hand, because like this came out of just seeing music discussion in the calendar and being like, okay, what music discussion are we gonna have?
What does that mean?
It was the equivalent, because I'm pretty sure when I put it in the calendar, sometimes if I can think of like spark, I'd call it, for like a first half topic.
Mm-hmm.
I'll throw it in there as like with a question mark, as like a something like this, something along these lines.
Yeah.
And I always forget that Jay is quite literal. So when he sees that, it's we are talking about music. And it's,
Well, the good thing about a music discussion in quotes is it fits and it's pretty open. Like I feel like there's quite a few things we could talk about with music. Like I always like asking people like what was the first concert you ever went to? Music concert. I mean, of course. We've probably said this on air before, but why not refresh? It's appropriate to discuss this today, seeing as we're talking about a music anime. So, Jay, when did you see your first concert, and who was it?
My first concert, I can't remember the year. It was either like 2014, 2015. But I went to see Kiss. Live in concert.
That'd be a sweet first concert. Kiss.
It was a really cool first concert. And I got to meet Tommy Thayer, the current guitar player for Kiss, cool. like right before the concert. So
that is cool. Yeah. Say what you will about Kiss. Like, they've got some bangers and they've got some songs that I think are a little cringy, but like, man, they put on a show. Like they are entertainers.
For sure. They they know what they're doing when they put on a concert.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of Kiss.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it like a bucket list thing, but like if somebody were like, "Hey, you want to go see Kiss?" I'm like, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't take much convincing.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take much convincing.
Yeah. That's kind of what it was for me, because like the reason I went is because my friend like asked me, "Hey, do you want to go see Kiss?" And I was like, you know what? Yeah. That'll be kind of sweet.
Yeah, because they're like they're one of those bands that are like definitely known for their performance, I would say too. Which is like, that's a band you see live.
Yeah. So if that was your first concert, would you say it was your favorite concert, or do you have a different favorite concert that you've been to?
No, there were a couple of concerts I really liked. I went to see. I took a road trip to one province over to see Maroon 5, and that was a cool concert. Just because like it's the only concert I've ever taken a road trip to see.
How far was the road trip?
But it was just one province over.
East or west?
West.
Okay. Yeah. They didn't come here, but they went there?
Yeah. That's weird, right?
That is very odd.
Yeah. And it wasn't like they didn't go to the capital. Like they didn't go to Regina. They went to Saskatoon.
Yeah.
That is
I think Saskatoon's bigger than Regina, but that's weird.
But like Regina's the capital, so like you'd think like, oh, they're gonna go there.
I'm guessing they also went to Edmonton then, probably.
I think so. I can't remember. It was
if they went to Saskatoon, but not like Edmonton or Calgary, that would be
that'd be
probably did.
It's already weird that they didn't go like
come here, but
come
they
here
went to Saskatoon. Yeah.
Well, I guess what else is around Saskatoon, right? Like maybe their thinking is, people drive down to like Minneapolis if they want to come see us from here, or drive to Saskatoon. But
and I mean, literally, Jay just told us at the top that he did, in fact, drive there to see them. So
that's true. He did. Yeah, I know someone who did that.
Yeah,
his name is Jay.
It's 6 hours from here to there. About.
Oh, that's not bad.
Something like that.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike? What was your first concert, and when was it?
First concert was Sum 41, and probably the year was, I'm gonna guess like 2006, maybe. Whenever the album Chuck, I'm gonna look it up right now.
Sum 41.
Chuck Sum 41. 2006. What did I say?
You said 2006.
You said 2006.
Nailed it. I am so flippin' powerful. Awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, they're if you're not familiar with Sum 41's Game, they are a Canadian rock band. You've probably heard. They're very pop punk. They're kind of like Canadian Blink-182 is kind of probably how I'd summarize them.
Yeah,
but a little more on the punk on then.
In my head, I often confuse the two. To be honest,
because you're not a pop punk guy at all.
No. I'll listen to some of it, but like the bands I don't know that well. And they're very interchangeable to me. Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Was that here?
Yeah, it was here. I was at the Burt, which I love that. I love that place for to go see music. And I think I went with the girl I liked when I think I was like 12 or 13.
Okay.
we held hands.
Oh
as we watched this
Whoa.
band. It was
Oh my
crazy.
goodness.
Before marriage? That's
Before
scandalous.
marriage? Well,
I mean,
don't
it'd be
tell
pretty
Sana.
scandalous to get married at like 12 or 13 too. So, yeah.
Yeah, but like, you're not
Yeah.
supposed to hold hands before
Yeah.
marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you leave?
Yeah,
did
it's
you
true.
leave room for Jesus?
I don't know. Probably because I'm sure I think her dad was there too. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
He was
Yeah.
watching you like a hawk.
I can't
I'm
remember.
sure.
I can't remember that part for sure, but I'm pretty sure because we were
Well,
like
yeah,
I
if
said,
you're-
13.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty young, especially at the Burt. Like that's once you're in the venue, it's fine, but it's not the safest area of the city. Sometimes.
No,
Yeah.
there's definitely some riffraff scrolling around there.
Mhm.
What was the second thing you asked, Cole? Oh, by the way, the band Alexis on Fire opened for them, and I remember being like blown away by them at my young age because that's like hardcore like screamo music from back in the days when that's still
Yeah.
was a thing.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, what is happening right now? And like the front man of the band like literally like jumped off the stage. So like the way this building is set up, there's like balconies on either side that overlook the stage. I'm sure every city has a place kind of like this. Real
It's an old
It used to be
theater.
like
Yeah.
it used to be like a place you go for like opera
Mm-hmm.
back in the
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
And he literally jumped from the stage, grabbed onto the balcony, and climbed up there and was singing from up there. I remember being like, "That is flipping cool, man. That guy's
That's
sweet."
metal.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then your whole life was changed ever since then.
Probably a little
you
bit.
got into
Probably a little
scene
bit.
music.
yeah.
For the record, the Burton Cummings Theater was built in 1907.
Yeah. It's old.
Just
Yeah.
old
One of
building.
the old ones that get repurposed. It's it's great though. It's great seeing shows there because like you can every seat's good in that style of theater.
Yeah.
Your second one was favorite concert.
Favorite
Favorite
concert.
concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason, the one that comes to mind to me, and this is kind of a weird one, is I saw a Passion Pit in Minneapolis.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And this was like, we saw them like after they'd already been like successful. And he kind of went on this like long hiatus for like mental health reasons.
Mm.
And he like came back and did like one more tour kind of thing. And I just like, I kind of remember like, because they have some great songs, right? And it's like this little like kind of like even smaller than the Bird. It was like very similar to my K-pop concert was. Like just basically like all floor standing seating type thing.
Yeah.
And me and Shazana were there. And I just remember him being like, at one point he's like standing there on stage and everyone's just like cheering at him, singing his song. And then he's just like, you know, like this was like really great for me. Like I wasn't going to do this and I'm still here today. I didn't think I'd be still here today, like type thing. And it was just like, it like resonated with you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good. And yeah, a small, intimate venue as well. Yeah, for sure.
Vastly
would
prefer
be-
that over big shows for sure.
Yeah.
Cole, what is your first concert and your favorite concert?
My first concert, and it, honestly, like not to be that guy, it might be my favorite as well, just because of the whole situation. So it's 2007. Me and my brother were big fans of a little-known band. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. I rarely talk about them. A little-known band called Rush. Have you guys heard of them?
I've heard of
Never.
them. Pretty obscure these days, but I've heard of them.
Yeah. They had just released their album Snakes and Arrows. Wonderful album. Recommended. And we told our dad, we're like, okay, like take us to Minneapolis. We'll pay for everything, you know, in quotation marks.
Yeah.
If we're like, you know, in high school, like there's no way that we actually paid for everything. But, you know, we got our tickets and everything and we drove down there. It was just me, Cody bought, and Father bought, I'll call him.
The album came out in 2007.
Father
so this would
Unit.
have been probably end of 2007, fall of 2007.
End of 2007. It was September 9th, 2007. I can remember the date exactly because it was my sister's birthday and she was upset that we weren't in the country for her birthday. But whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, we saw Rush at the XL Energy Center. Is it still called the XL Energy Center? Where the Wild play.
I believe so. Yeah, where the Wild play.
It was my first time in such a huge arena as well. Big, huge building. And yeah, the way that Rush put on concerts back then is second to none, only in the fact that it was 3 hours of just them. They didn't have an opening act. They just played for 3 hours.
Which is like, that's so impressive.
Well, they'd been around for, at that time, 30% probably close to 35 years, releasing many albums.
But like you say that, but that just means like, they're very experienced and good at it, but they're also old. They're old at like that point.
Yeah.
To have that kind of stamina, that's impressive.
Yeah, I always think that was them at their peak. Like they had the repertoire and they still had like enough stamina to play, and Geddy Lee, phenom on the bass and keyboards and vocals. Alex Lifeson, great guitar player, and of course Neil Peart, the late great Neil Peart, best drummer of all time, in my opinion. And yeah, it's tough for me to say that anything's topped that, just because of the whole, it's a road trip, like Jay said, his thing, and seeing our favorite band.
I think part of it is like the part of these memories too is like, it's not like the concert has to be good too, but like everything around it is like the real thing that you're saying. You
need the experience on top of like the music.
You can't separate the two, right?
I don't think my dad liked it as much. He had a really bad toothache. So now whenever I bring it up, he's like, like every time the bass drum was hit, like it was, it hurt him.
Good for him. Good for him for being a champ then. He's so cool.
He was like, he definitely wasn't as big a fan as me and Cody Bott or Nug Deep as Mike knows him. But like he appreciated them. My dad's a drummer as well, so like he wanted to see the Professor in action. So I'd probably say that. I mean, another question, I guess, like who's your favorite musical act, Jay? You're sitting there, you're like, I want to listen to my favorite band. Who would that be?
It's kind of different depending on the year. Like my interest in music has kind of changed over the years. Like,
you can give me a few. You can give me a couple.
When I first became a fan of music, I loved Nickelback. That was kind of like
underrated.
Underrated.
The Renaissance is a thing. Like
the Renaissance for Nickelback is
them now.
Yeah. Everybody's kind of realized, like, do you actually not like them? And everybody's like,
no, they're kind of good. Actually.
No, actually,
cool.
I kind of think they got some like bangers. And then everybody like at once was like, yeah, we're all kind of on the same page here on this one.
Yeah. I've seen them in concert and it was awesome. This was 2019, I want to say.
I would absolutely go to a Nickelback concert.
I
think
similar to your Kiss thing.
Yeah. They love their pyrotechnics, Nickelback.
Yes.
So for sure, that would be a sweet one. And they're Canadian.
Yeah.
No, I saw them on their Feed the Machine tour, and that was
Feed the Machine.
Feed the Machine. Did they feed your machine?
Great rock title. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, they did, and it was really, really cool.
Nice. What else? What else would be on your personal playlist?
When I was like more of like a teenager, I liked Imagine Dragons.
Okay.
Okay.
A little more basic.
Like when I was kind of in my like emo teenager phase.
I feel like that's what they mostly appeal to. Like there's
angsty.
Obviously, me and Cole are less excited here, as you could probably hear in our voice. But like, they're kind of like Nickelback. It's just I was too old for that phase. I think
they got one or two. They got one or two songs that even I would listen to. One or two.
Yeah.
But I'm not as well versed in their discography.
I've also seen them in concert, and that was a good concert.
I feel like they'd be a good concert.
Yeah. No. It's much less like theatrics with them. It's more just like stand and play.
Yeah. Radioactive went very hard in my youth, for sure.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
Believer is also really good.
Yeah,
not sure.
The song that they played with the Breath of the Wild trailer back in the day.
I remember it.
I say back in the day, but that was like
came out in 2017. Yeah.
2017.
Okay, just to tie this into anime, Jay. Favorite like Japanese band or musician.
Okay. Ame.
Of course.
Obviously.
Aimer.
Brave Shine's my favorite anime song.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Arguably your favorite song, period.
I would argue.
Yeah.
That's
a good one.
I love Brave Shine, but
it's a good song.
What about you guys? Who are some of your favorite bands?
Well,
I think I'm next in the order. So, if you would have asked me in the first 15 years of my life, would have said Fall Out Boy. Would have said Fall Out Boy for sure. Probably even the first 20 years of my life, actually. I still really like Fall Out Boy a lot. They're just
I feel like that's very similar to my Imagine Dragons answer.
Probably.
It's just like,
yeah.
Like I'm
Fall Out
15
Boys,
and this is deep.
Yeah, Fall Out Boys has such an interesting like arc to their music.
Mm-hmm.
Like they start off as kind of that like post-punk, emo-y, you know, whatever that song was that came out. They're big
Sugar We're Going
breakthrough.
Down.
Yeah, Sugar We're Going Down.
Which they have many, Cole. Infinity on High.
Sugar We're Going Down. That's what I was thinking of. And now they kind of like play like this borderline industrial like electronic music. It's very, I don't want to say strange because like they're artists and
it kind of is.
They've evolved, but I appreciate them for doing that. Like they're willing to like kind of try different stuff.
Yeah. And it's like kind of, they always have like you can tell instantly it's Fall Out Boy because like they just have like distinct sound to them, especially Patrick Stump's voice.
Yeah.
But like they do, every album is like, you can tell what album it's from just by listening to the song and like to kind of what Cole's explaining. Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you go from there, Mike?
Well, then I'll go present day, Mike. And I feel like you both know the answer to that. And my favorite band nowadays is definitely Twice. It's definitely Twice.
Oh,
yes. Which, by the way,
here we go.
He's always got something.
Yeah. Look, I got
cross props off your bingo sheets, everyone.
Yeah. I got my first piece of Twice merch when I was in Japan. Sitting here with this. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I think of Mike J, though, I don't want him to not bring it up. I always think of Death Cab for Cutie as well.
Also like Death Cab for Cutie.
Yeah.
They've aged less gracefully than Fall Out Boy, I would say.
Yeah. Well, just their older stuff.
Yeah. But every now and then you do hear, like, even nowadays, you'll hear like a Death Cab for Cutie song on the radio or something because they're very commercial. It's very light listening, I would say. What was the last part? Favorite anime thing.
Yeah, Japanese artist.
Favorite Japanese artist. Well, also Twice. I would go. I really like Kenshi Yonezu. Is that what it is? Yonezu.
Kenshi Yonezu. Yeah.
Thank you, Jay. There you go. That'd probably be my favorite there, I would say.
Yeah. Has he done any OPs, EDs?
Yes.
He did the OP for Chainsaw Man and also the OP for Gundam G-Quarks.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to connect it. I just wanted to make that connection. I like the
He's
OP
very good
for G-Quarks. Yeah. It's
also
good.
There's a lot of good songs. I would say probably my favorite like song I would say is by a band called Sack in Action. And it's a sweet song. If anyone wants to listen to like a sweet, like very like 1980s song, look up the song Wasura Rare Nai No. I don't know. Just type in Sack in Action. It comes up. Yeah. Cole, you're up.
For me, I've had many distinct eras of music listening. When I was little, I loved Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks was my jam when I was little. And then I moved on to Van Halen when I was like early high school. And then I discovered it, guys. I discovered Rush. And where do you go from there? They're the best band in the universe. They're the greatest band in the universe.
Onward, I would say.
And then that band just rushed its way to the top of your list.
Rushed it. It did, Jay. Well put.
It stayed there.
I loved me and Cody and Nugdeep loved Rush so much that like our love of it was like spreading in our high school. Well, at least in my grade anyway. I don't know if Mike can probably attest to the younger grades. Like my whole friend group was like teasing me about liking Rush because Geddy Lee sounds like he has a very distinct voice.
It's not a very cool band. I'll say that much.
They're not a very cool band, but like when I graduated, like everybody was like had their favorite Rush song, you know? And it was an interesting thing that we went through. Nowadays, I listen to a lot of Billy Joel. I love Billy Joel.
Yeah, you've been into the Billy Joel like for a while, and I feel like that's weirder even than the Rush one, the Rush obsession. I'd say.
Just real quick, if you want a good Garth Brooks song, Red Strokes, Van Halen, I'd go 5150. Rush, I would say Subdivisions or Xanadu. Xanadu to me is like the ultimate Rush song, but Subdivisions is my favorite one. Billy Joel, I would say Vienna or Zanzibar are both good. And then just to wrap this whole segment up, Bump of Chicken for Japanese music. Yeah. It's not even close. That whole, what's that album called? Aurora. Great album.
Yeah, Bump of Chicken is really good. Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
They have a very unique sound, even in like the Japanese circle.
Yeah. You can always hear it's exactly them. They're similar to like Radwimps, where it's like, oh, I know who this is.
Yeah.
Right away.
And Mike knows this. I didn't really mention it, but like I love like kind of that, I wouldn't say overproduced. Oh, I forgot John Mayer. Terrific.
Oh yeah, huge John Mayer guy. Yeah.
I like a well-produced band, and Bump of Chicken is that. Like lots of stuff going on in their music. You can just sit there and just like pick apart. There's like 3 guitars and there's piano and string segments and drums. Their drummer is so good. He's always doing crazy stuff. Sorry,
Japanese music generally has like such a crazy level of talent in it. Like it's so there's so much going on, and like the deeper you go into it, and yeah, like Cole, you're a fan of production generally, and yeah, the production is always top notch.
Yeah. Coldplay, love Coldplay too. Same thing.
They just performed it twice actually.
Did they? Oh
yeah, in a whole series.
Sorry, I'm kind of taking this whole segment over. I'll relent though. Maybe we should go to a break.
I think it would be a wise decision because
Mike needs juice.
I need to get my IV hooked up again, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll go to a break. We'll come back. We've got a mailbag question. It'll be a quick one. It'll be a quick mailbag question. And then we've got a review for Kids on the Slope, or as I like to call it, Boys on the Slope.
Apparently.
Boys on the Hill.
Boys
Apollo
on the Hill.
on the Slope is the Japanese title.
Apollo on the Slope.
If you were to translate it directly.
Yeah. I like that. That's cool.
Interesting. Yeah.
They should have called it that. Anyway, yeah, let's go to break.
Hey, it's me. I'm taking over the podcast this week, like we always knew I would, to promote, well, AniPro. If you've been enjoying what you've seen so far and want to see more of us, consider supporting us on Patreon, where you get access to new episodes before anyone else, monthly bonus episodes exclusive to our Patreon, your mailbag questions getting pushed to the front of the line so we'll answer them sooner, and extra votes in our Listener's Choice review polls. But I get it. Not all of you are in a position to support us financially, but you still want to show your support. And I'm happy to say that you still can. Rating us 5 stars on Spotify or Apple Podcasts helps other potential listeners find us easier. And joining our Discord server is a great way to interact with the hosts more intimately than ever before, or other listeners like you. So what are you waiting for? Support AniPro today, join the community, and remember, keep on keeping on. Whatever. Let's just get back to the episode.
What color is Jay's drink today? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you didn't get too scared during the break. It's okay.
That was some pretty spooky music Coldplay during that.
Yeah, you always pick like very like sexually scary music.
I've been picking like more city pop based music. Have you guys noticed? Isn't that?
Yep.
It's kind of more vibey. Maybe I'll put on some like jazzy music for this one.
Oh, that'd be a good move.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
Before we went to the break, though, I teased that we got a mailbag question. So do you guys want to go into the mailbag?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, he says.
Let's go, Dan Cole. Let's go.
I'm playing it. It's not playing.
Is it because I did a drop? It's probably because I did a drop.
Possibly.
It's time for the mailbag.
There we go. It's mailbag time. If you got a mailbag question, you can send it to us over at our website, AniProPod.com/mailbag, or on our Discord. This one comes from our Discord from our old friend, Zero's producer, San, who has been keeping me updated on the Uma Musume news. It's finally been announced. It's finally been announced. We're getting the worldwide
at least the date
release.
Has been announced.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, he's got a question for us, and it's a very quick question. It's a fun question. Why does every anime have to have an obligatory beach episode? Jay, you've done the research. Tell us why.
Okay. It's a very complex and nuanced reason. Scholars have studied for centuries to figure out the undecryptable reason behind this, but I finally have it.
Okay.
It is Oppai.
I hadn't thought of that.
Is it so they can get like naked anime girls on screen is like the main purpose? I just thought animators love the beach. I thought it was.
I thought they liked the sun. Fun in the sun.
Oh, you know what? Now that you mention it, there are usually jiggly bits in beach episodes. I hadn't noticed that, Jay. I'm glad you pointed that out.
I felt like this was a pseudo appropriate question because even in Kids on the Slope, even in Kids on the Slope, there's a beach episode.
There's 2 beach episodes.
Well, there's one. There's one like beach episode where like they're in bathing suits.
Yeah,
but like 1960s bathing suits.
Yeah,
that like it falls into the like definition of like a beach episode. I'd say where they like yeah. But yeah, I think it's just like a change of scenery. It's like an excuse, and then so they can eventually sell a figure of whoever characters in bathing suits. I think also is probably another selling feature there.
Yeah, they're usually bottle episodes as well. So like they don't really factor into the plot as much as other episodes do. It's just they'll usually use it as like a break between arcs, right? So
usually,
like, we finished this arc. Let's like have like a nice easy episode.
Or like
we don't have to worry about.
We don't want to get to the next arc too quickly because we won't be able to cover it in the episodes we have left. So
let's make everybody go ooga booga and forget that we're trying to
need something to fill time. What is perfect? Beach episode. And like probably the most egregious one I can think of is Classroom of the Elite. They like moved it from like what I think probably season 3 is where it actually should have happened, but they were like, listen, we need it, this season needs it, it's calling for it, people are begging for a beach episode. They're like, but they don't have a beach at the school. And then they're like, that they do have a pool. They do have a pool.
They do. Favorite beach episode, Jay?
Man, nothing comes to mind.
Nothing comes to mind. No. I did spring this question on you. I hope Mike's ready because I'm coming to him. Yeah, Mike, favorite beach episode?
I like the Quince beach episode or beach arc, maybe.
Like the movies?
Like the cabin.
I don't remember.
They go to the cabin on the beach.
Jay, when did this happen? Is it
season 2?
Season 2. Yeah. Oh my God, I don't even remember that. That would be a good one. I gotta go watch that.
It's like less beach and more like cabin episode, I would say.
I like cabin episodes too. Cabin episodes are fun. Yeah.
And like this anime made me realize too is like I like a Christmas episode in anime too. Christmas episodes are good too.
Yeah.
So that's Zero's question. It's because we like them. That's why.
Yeah.
It's because they're popular.
People like them.
Yeah. I'm going the K-On! Beach episodes. They're just fun. And they also like, again, they're at like a cabin, but like it's a rich person cabin. And they've got like music gear and stuff and they're all practicing. And I mean, it's K-On! They're just cute, doing cute things. So yeah.
What else would they do?
Yeah.
It's
the anime we're going to talk about though has a good beach episode, I'd say.
It's got a nice beach episode.
There's kind of 2 of them, and like one of them's more that just go to the beach and it's like plot relevant. The first one's kind of more just like character building relevant.
Yeah. The first one is like nice and light and soft, where the second one is like very dramatic and heavy. Speaking of this show, anyway, Zeros, it's because we like them. Specifically us, the 3 of us.
Yes.
They do it to
I have a question back at Zero's producer, San. Why not?
Yeah.
True. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Yeah. Let's turn this around on him. Why not? Why doesn't every anime have an obligatory beach
episode? It's like a breath mint. It's a breath mint after between courses is what it is.
Yeah, it's the garlic you put in your mouth between pieces of sushi. It's a palate cleanser.
How do you eat sushi?
No, that's why they give you the garlic.
Garlic?
It's ginger, sorry. Okay, yeah, I see your confusion now. I understand.
Yeah, I was like, how is Cole eating sushi?
I just love garlic. I just love garlic.
Cole,
ginger.
Famously not a vampire, confirmed.
Yeah. No, I do like garlic. I'm certainly not a vampire. Yeah. Okay, let's get into Kids on the Slope though. Whose show was this? I think it was Jay's.
It was mine.
Jay, tell us about Kids on the Slope.
Kids on the Slope. Kids on the Slope is legendary director Shinichiro Watanabe's 2012 anime adaptation of a manga by the same name about a boy named Kaori Nishimi who transfers schools due to his father's job situation. Though initially standoffish due to a rocky past, Kaori meets and befriends a delinquent, Sentaro Kawabuchi, who changes him after introducing him to the world of jazz.
Mm-hmm. That's jazz, baby. And
if you're not sure who Shinichiro Watanabe is, he's known for the Animatrix mostly.
Oh, he's known for lots.
He's known for a ton of well-liked and known shows like Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, Space Dandy, Lazarus this season, and
Carol and Tuesday.
Yeah.
And who could forget the Animatrix?
And the Animatrix.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's we watched this. Question mark?
I sure did.
Did we watch this, Cole?
Yes, we did. I finished this. I finished this on time too. To answer Jay's question off air, Jay asked me if I was the one who finished this at the last minute. No, I finished it today at noon so that I could watch the Jets get absolutely destroyed by the St. Louis Blues. Great day. I'm having a great day.
You sure?
I started it good though, with Kids on the Slope.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So I guess we could open it up with like comparisons, recommendations that we think that people would vibe with, to use a jazz word. Yeah, let's jazz.
That's jazz, baby.
Jay, what would you? No, you'll go last. You'll go last.
I'll go last.
I guess. Who's it? Cole, Mike. My name's Cole. His name's Mike. Me first.
I don't want anyone stealing mine, so I gotta go first.
No, I had to think of the traditional order. So I go first, and I'll say, I hate to do it to you guys. I hate to be that guy to say my favorite anime is my recommendation. But I got a lot of March Comes In Like a Lion from this. I really feel like that would be a valid thing, like somebody who's into something, but it's not really about that. Like, yeah, there's jazz in this and it's a major plot point, but like
it's a lot more just drama focused.
Yeah, it's more drama focused. And I mean, main character who wears glasses with black hair.
Yeah.
So I mean, the visual aspect there is as well. Yeah. And like unexpected relationships that you build and kind of
people coming out of their shells from via human interaction and different like things that help them grow and come of age. And
you're right, Jay. Yeah. That is a good suggestion that I made. Good job.
God, look at you guys. So cute.
You're right, Jay. I am right, says Cole.
Yeah. Mike, what about you?
For me, the one that I thought of when I was watching this is Your Lie in April, which I felt like this has a lot of similarities is maybe the wrong word, but I can't think of my brain is just too starving for nutrients to think of the other one. So they're both music shows. They both are kind of dramatic. There's sort of like a love interest that is kind of the driving actual thing in the anime. The main character has some kind of like self-esteem issues kind of going on, a little bit of anxiety about stuff. And they're not the same, but I think they're in the same ballpark, is what I would say.
Yeah, similar to The March Comes in Like a Lion. Like those two shows are very similar, and yeah, it would make sense that this would be similar to that too. Yeah.
What about Jay? What's your comparison recommendation?
So I would just real quick kind of second Mike's take, because there are a lot of similarities between the two. But the one that I really took to immediately was Kono Totomare, which is like it starts with a delinquent boy and like a glasses boy meeting and playing classical music together in their club, and a lot of drama and other high school dramatic antics ensue because of the
tale as old as time. Glasses boy and not glasses boy form a band together.
It's me and Mike.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, Jay. Which one was that? Is
the one
is
about
that the one? They play Koto. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I do remember that one. Yeah, that's a good pick too. Yeah, very similar. Very similar. Yeah. Of course, in that one, again, like it's more traditional music, where this is new music. Jazz is newer music.
Definitely newer for the time that this takes place in.
Yeah. Very, very exciting music for the 60s. That's what I would say there. Yeah.
And I feel like that's a good segue into our first point, even, because you said it's good music for the 60s, right? So this is obviously set in the 60s, like the late 60s, in Nagasaki, not Tokyo too, which is interesting as well. How did you guys feel about, did you know that this was a period piece and B set in, like, I want to call it rural Japan, but it's not, it's kind of like just a smaller city is really more
of like a suburb, I guess.
Maybe. Yeah. But it's like halfway, I think, between Tokyo and Kyoto, I think is where Nagasaki is.
Yeah, I don't know the exact place.
But like, did you guys feel like the setting was like kind of interesting for this one, or like, what are your thoughts on all that?
Yes, I did. I liked the setting. I knew that it took place kind of in that post-war Japan era.
Okay.
It also made, I didn't like, I just watched the whole show. I didn't realize this took place in Nagasaki. But it would make sense why one of the characters was so upset about someone else being in a relationship with an American soldier, if it took place in Nagasaki.
Right.
Of course, Nagasaki was one of the cities that was bombed, the atomic bomb on it. Yeah, I mean, I knew about the time period. I didn't know about the specific setting. So,
okay.
I felt like everything felt genuine as well. Like even the beach episode, we kind of touched on that. You know, it does the classic like reveal of the girl in her bathing suit, but she's in like a 1960s era bathing suit, which is like just a one piece bathing suit. And it's just funny how times have changed, but they stuck with that. And I appreciated that they were still like taken aback by her in her
this scandalous full body. I don't even know what you call it. It's not even like a one piece. It's like a, I don't even know.
Well, it was like sleeveless
leotard.
Yeah, it was, you know, they've never seen a girl's shoulders before, so they were.
Yeah. I want to correct my mistake, by the way. I looked it up. Nagasaki is basically at like the southern tip of the island of Japan.
I think that's why they were so surprised by the snow as well. That also makes sense because it would be pretty warm there.
Okay. Yeah.
In Nagasaki. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike? What did you think of this setting?
Well, I was surprised by both of them. I like less surprised, obviously, by it being in a not Tokyo, but like pleasantly surprised. I think we talked about that last week, that we want to see less Tokyo school settings, and I feel like this gave me like that small towny feel, which I really enjoy. So that I didn't know, and I definitely didn't realize it was a period piece for like so almost a surprising amount of time, I would say, because like I think it was like episode 2 or 3. I'm like, Oh, this is in the 60s. I see. Okay. I just thought these kids really like jazz. Yeah.
That bus
Jay,
looks old.
Yeah, Jay, did you have a similar vibe to this? I'm sure. Did you know already, or?
I knew that it took place in the 60s.
Okay.
And like, I knew that it was like more of a rural area. I knew it wasn't Tokyo, but I didn't know where exactly it was.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's funny. Yeah, I didn't even. Yeah. It didn't even hit that this wasn't Tokyo until, like he said, it's not Tokyo.
Yeah.
Until they start getting on the trains. And now that I look at the map, the train to Tokyo, like that's even more dramatic now that we have that context too, when like they're getting on a train to go to Tokyo. Because that's a far hike.
That'd be a long train ride before a bullet train, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what do they need sleeper cars for? Oh, I get it now.
It was
probably like
really
a
cool.
Multiple day journey.
Yeah.
It was really cool. Like seeing the train pull into the station. It was like a classic like steam engine train.
Yeah. Well, not quite. not quite that much. It wasn't like a locomotive, but it was like an older model train that didn't go fast. And they even kind of showed that, like they show the train moving at full speed and it's kind of just plugging away.
It's going. It's going pretty fast for 1966.
Yeah. But yeah, the sleeper cars make sense now. Yeah, no, I think I appreciated the period piece as well. It was refreshing. Yeah.
And I personally appreciated I find when like you get these, and it seems like we're doing a little more, but I find when you get the setting not in Tokyo, I feel like it adds a little bit more to the story too, because like you're kind of learning a little bit more about a culture that's very different from what you're used to seeing in anime. Like I feel like this very much felt like, oh, okay, this is like a smaller, not so crazy busy place. They're a little slower going. There's like the ocean nearby. They make trips to the ocean all the time. And there's like nature around. I felt like that was it was neat. It was neat to see. And like, there's like a scene where they like something fairly big happens in like a shrine. And it's like the shrine's just kind of like in the middle of the bush, basically. And I thought it was cool to see that, like a different representation of Japan than you normally see.
Yeah. Yeah, underrepresented. Yeah, no, I like that. I like that. You know what else I liked though?
I think I do know. And what else did you really like about the visuals of this show for sure?
Well, this was one of my points that I brought up. I made an observation like this is some of the best rotoscoping I've seen in specifically a music anime. Like the drumming especially. Like it was all pretty genuine. I would have to like
it's like very close to accurate.
Yeah, I'd have to ask CodyBot what he would think of like the rotoscoping of the bass.
One of my coworkers at work is a drummer, and like I showed it to him, he's like, yeah, this is like almost there.
Yeah, full disclosure, CodyBot took jazz studies in university. So he came out this morning after I finished the show. He's like, what were you watching? I'm like, oh, we're just watching Kids on the Slope. We're reviewing it. He's like, oh, I heard moaning.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that's kind of like the theme of the show.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool. Yeah. He like, of course he would hear that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rotoscoping in it is just awesome. Piano's always good. Like they've really nailed piano. Drumming though, especially considering this came out in 2012?
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah. Like Bocchi the Rock does it really well, obviously, but this was impressive. I felt like the rotoscoping and the animation overall was really good. This was Mappa, right?
Yeah,
this is Mappa with Tezuka Productions. And I feel like you can really, with the animation as a whole, I think is where you're going next a little bit. I felt like they really, like this was almost like a passion project, it felt like. Like it felt like they really cared about the subject matter here and telling the story. And they just like, I could kind of see it. Like you kind of like we were talking about the last one, like they kind of, I'm thinking one of them read the manga or something and then like kind of fell in love with the setting and then like the jazz and the 60s.
Well, like I think Watanabe is a big jazz guy because like during all the fight scenes in Cowboy Bebop and stuff like that, like a lot of the fight scene music is like jazzy or something around that style. So like just seeing the jazz theme in this show. And I guess in his case in the manga, it probably like lit a fire under him and was like, I need to do this. I need to make this.
Yeah, it got super inspired. You can feel it, and like
you can feel the inspiration. It's
Yeah, and like Cole said, the animation in this is spectacular. It looks really good. Especially like I kept thinking to myself like we always say like slice of life doesn't need stellar animation, right? That's like I feel like a trope that people say all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But like when it does,
it helps.
It just makes it so much better. It makes it so much better.
I'm certainly not going to complain about it if it's got good animation.
For sure.
This very, very well animated, very well directed as well too.
Mm-hmm.
This Watanabe, this Shinichiro Watanabe, I think he's
got a bright future. Places. This kid's got a bright future ahead of him.
I think he's doing good. I looked it up too. I was just wondering, like, okay, he likes jazz. Like, did he grow up in the 60s too? He was born in the 60s, so he wouldn't have been this age at the time. Which makes sense. He's not that old, I guess.
Yeah. But I feel like he probably, I wouldn't be surprised to hear like, he finds like has this romantic idea of this period or something.
Like that. Like it would have been his parents' generation, basically.
Yeah.
Which like you said, you can feel that like admiration for it in the animation and the direction and all of that.
Yeah. And speaking of direction, Cole, you have a point here saying like there's like the show kind of has multiple arcs in its little. I would say it has like 3 to 4 arcs for sure.
4 arcs, and they all kind of run 3 to 4
sort of
episodes.
bleed into each other a little bit too, so it's kind of hard to distinctly call them arcs. But like, do you feel like the pacing for the show suffered from that, or do you think it was a good way to handle this show?
I think, personally, it helped because, if it was just one long arc, I don't know, because like this is all just speculation, but I feel like that may have been more of a slog to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we're watching this as reviewers. We're binging it essentially, right?
Yeah.
And if you've got multiple arcs spread out over fewer episodes, it just makes it easier to binge watch as well. I will say the first couple episodes I watched and I was kind of like, okay, this is going to be a bit of a slog. It took till like episode 3 to hook me. I started watching it. I started watching it last night. I was like, okay, I'll watch a couple episodes. I ended up watching 7 episodes last night.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, I should probably go to bed. And then I finished it this morning. I feel like the pacing worked for me. What about you, Jay? What did you think?
I mean, from what I understand, this anime adapts the entire manga. Like it's I think it's a 9-volume manga. 9 volumes. So like it's rather short. But I think like it tackles all of the important points. It might have cut some stuff out. And I think like I saw like a couple of things, including like a little bit of an epilogue at the end, were cut. But like I think the story and the version of the story that Watanabe wanted to tell was told really well. And there was never a point where I was like, okay, this is taking too long. Let's get to it. Or like, like it felt like, it did things in a way where like, I guess I'll be succinct about it. It was paced well.
Yeah. It flows. It flows. It's quick. Yeah. It's quick.
I would say by having, sometimes when they have like a lot going on when we watch these shows or these manga or whatever, and like there's like a lot of different things in the air, a lot of the times, like if the direction's not on point, you just kind of sort of confused and lost a little bit, and you end up leaning over to your buddy while you're watching and being like, what is even happening right now? And I feel like at no point during this was I lost or confused, which is impressive considering we had, as Jay put it in another point here, a love pentagon or just a romance pentagon or a liking each other, I don't even know what you call it.
The romance in this is unique for sure, I would say.
Yeah. And
interpersonal relationship pentagon is what we'll call it.
We'll get to that when we get to that. But
but I
do have thoughts on that.
Yeah, we'll get there. I don't feel like I was not engaged at any. Honestly, like Cole said, he struggled to get into it. I feel like I was hooked from the beginning, and then if anything, I'd say it got a little sloggy probably the 3/4 mark a little bit.
Okay.
Just because I'm not a huge fan of like having the character arc where the guy just sort of basically mopes for a while, like quite a while.
Yeah.
And like the plot doesn't move past that. Like they just kind of like wallow in their sadness for a while. And I understand why they do it because it kind of makes it feel like it lasts a while, but it just, it tends to lose me when that happens.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I think that like my biggest issue with that is like it just kind of feels too melodramatic for it all.
A little bit.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, if I could be critical as well, like it does seem like what's the main guy's name?
Kaoru?
Kaoru, yeah, he kind of like resets quite often into like being like a mopey guy. Which for it doesn't bother me. It's just like if I'm being critical, he kind of like it's melodramatic, like Jay said. It has a tendency of like going back into that. Where in this they're high schoolers, so I can kind of give them the pass about not talking to each other because like when you're in high school, you don't know.
You're a lot more like a small thing is like the end of the world, right?
That's usually what I say when I like people are like, "Oh, this is so melodramatic." It's like, yeah, do you remember being in high school? It's pretty melodramatic.
Yeah, you don't know how. Like they have a point where they kind of have a little bit of a falling out, and like that happened to me with friends in high school, and then like in the end, like you kind of just get over it, and it feels like the end of the world at the time, but now
because it's
looking back, it's
to be fair to like the kids in this, like realistically, it is one of the worst things to ever happen.
And that's what I'm saying.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I'm a jaded man now at this point, so it's like, oh, just talk to each other. Like, but no, then you got to put yourself in their shoes and say, like, no, it's not that easy when you're.
I want to say they're 16 maybe in this one, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I think so. I think they said that at the end of the show. At
the end of the show, they're
16.
Well, not the very end. Yeah, because then I think they're 17 and they graduate.
They graduate at 17. Then there's a thing at the end.
8-year time skip. Yeah. While we're kind of talking about characters and themes and stuff, like what was your favorite? What was your favorite, and what was your least favorite? Like, what did you like in terms of character arcs in this, or characters?
Well, Jay, go ahead.
I feel like for me, and this kind of leads into what I was gonna say about the romance thing. The best part about the characters was the friendship between Sentaro and Kaoru, I think. And I think
I agree.
I think like from how the show is set up, I think Watanabe understood that was the best part of the story and kind of leaned into it more. Because like that's the emotional climax of the show. Their friendship. They're like most of the drama kind of like the intrigue of all the drama stems from their friendship. Their development is like revolves around how their friendship their friendship status is. And like them playing together, how like what they're playing is like is a reflection of how they feel about each other. So like there's a lot more of a complexity to their relationship than most of the other stuff in this show, and I appreciated that for that.
Yeah. As far as like a favorite arc goes, I don't know. It's tough for me to pick because like I think about different ones. I think of like the whole Sentaro like joining a rock band arc, and again, it's so dramatic. It's so silly.
When that guy blows up on him and he's like, "You've betrayed me" or whatever, and then he like literally runs away. I'm like, you sweet child.
Again, like, they're children.
I know, but like I've done that before in high school. Absolutely.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. You think like, there's no point of me being friends with this jerk, absolute monster. How could he have other friends?
Yeah. And I love the resolution of it where like they just kind of get over it and they just play and it's all good. I like one of the most interesting ones was probably the Junichi and Eureka like thing that they did because it was so unrelated to like what was happening, I guess. I don't know. I just found that kind of like an interesting step back from it.
It does tie into it a little bit because like them being a couple kind of affected Sentaro because he liked her.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, it affected it in that sense, but like it was just like a nice, like you could just take that and make it into like a little romance, period piece romance thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It really reminded me a lot of like the Nana, the bit that we read, because it was very kind of a similar thing a little bit, but it obviously like it goes differently. Like things obviously happen differently in it, but I do agree though. Like the strength, the core of this show is the quote unquote love triangle, and just like the friendship between the two main characters there, in my opinion. That's honestly the quote unquote love triangle that's really kind of more of a friendship triangle, I would argue. But yeah,
like the romance aspect of it is important to it, but it's not the most important part of it.
The love triangle is more the drama that stems from different people liking different people, and none of the feelings are really mutual in the beginning.
I did like how feelings would change through it.
Yeah.
Like that was nice.
There's like actual character progression in this show, like multiple character. Like the characters at the end of the show are completely different than when you start the show, which is better or refreshing.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of that high school, like at the end of the show, you know, we kind of see where everybody is later on, and it's maybe not where you'd want people to be, you know, maybe you'd want people to kind of, you know, how should I phrase this?
It doesn't like wrap everything up in like a neat little bow. Like, there are still like some strings that are kind of like dangling there,
loose. But then at the very end, it kind of gives you like, oh, maybe things can work themselves out, which is one of my least favorite tropes. But like, I felt like in this case it works because like the story's done. Now they can just move on with their lives and
and for sure, like at worst, it is a pretty concrete ending, I would say, more so than you get in a lot of shows, which is
and that's just the benefit of them having the entire source material to work with when they came out.
Yeah, that's true.
But like at the end of the day, would you say that the love triangle and romance aspect of the show worked for you?
I feel like a lot of it is kind of shallow. Like, and I mean, romance in high school is shallow. I get it, but like I feel like if they had just been friends and there was just kind of like Kaoru was an outsider between the two of them, kind of thing, like that wouldn't really change much. And I'm not saying that's how it should have been, but like more just like if it were that way, I don't think the story would really change.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like it works. Like it is dramatic for sure.
Yeah.
And the show is a drama. So that's like the point of it. So yeah, I think it works. Like there's nothing that makes me think like, oh, I wish the romance wasn't in it. Like I feel like everything has its place and it works out. So if I had to the binary of did it work or did it not work for me, it worked.
I think at the same time it's kind of also just the result of Watanabe putting the spotlight more on the friendship between the two leads over
for sure
the romance itself.
Maybe the manga is much more romance heavy.
And I don't I haven't read it, so like I can't
me neither.
Come to that conclusion, but
Mike, what did you think? You didn't answer it.
No, I was just waiting because you guys were kind of giving your thoughts, and I would kind of just echo what you said. I think it worked, but it never felt like I've seen things with love triangles and stuff where it really feels like, oh, this is like they're pumping up the melodrama just for the sake of like the show and the shock factor. I felt like this one, every character, the way that they acted and did things felt pretty real and honest. Like they actually felt like, okay, I could see how a person would react that way.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the trope of oh, they don't really know how they really feel until
misunderstandings
develops their feelings. Yeah. And I would say, honestly, for me, it added to the show by keeping, like, if this was just a show about two bros that play jazz together and he likes a girl, I feel like it just wouldn't be quite as good than if it, now that they have the whole thing where he likes a girl, but she likes his buddy that he's becoming friends with, but they're actually sneakily more of a brother and sister. And it's like, you know, like, I feel like that added to it. It kept me intrigued, kept me stringing
I
along.
do like that one scene later on the show where like Sentaro and what's her name? Ritsuko have that conversation, and like it's never like explicitly said how she felt about him, but like he says like I'm glad you don't feel that way because I didn't want to have to hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
Right. I did like that scene.
Yeah, it was nice because that was kind of her realizing how she felt about someone else as well.
Yeah.
That was nice. It was a nice like culmination of stuff coming together. Because I think if that scene happened earlier in the show, like I think that she did genuinely like him at that time, but then things happen and then other stuff happens also.
Also, we get a confession in episode 3.
Yes, like, refreshing.
Yeah.
Yes, the teaser at the end of episode 3, the cliffhanger, and I think that might have been kind of like
moments, which is nice.
Yeah, for me that kind of been like, okay, now I want to watch the next episode. I think that's kind of why I think like episode 3 was what hooked me.
Okay,
because the first 2 episodes were kind of just like, this happens, end of episode. This happens, end of episode. Episode 3 comes around. Episode 3 comes around and it's like, this happens, but this is going to happen next time.
To the show's credit, though, like for me, I was still into the first 2 episodes, just because like the jazz and the well animated playing really like sucked
for sure. Yeah. I didn't dislike them. I just felt like hitting the next episode was a little bit tougher than than it was later on for me. Yeah.
And Jay mentioned the jazz, and that's obviously like a central thing in this show. How do you guys feel about the titular jazz in the show? And like just kind of the soundtrack in general?
I mean, come on. This is it's awesome.
This was awesome. Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah. And again, like just seeing like what is essentially live performers playing as well is great. And kind of discovering like how jazz is kind of just like of course they're all good musicians. The main character is a classical pianist or plays more classical piano, so he knows like how music works. But just kind of being able to just like play, you know, like don't worry about it, just play. And that's like the music I play is more improvisational as well. I guess. And so I felt I liked that. Yeah. Just like kind of coming out of your shell even in that sense.
The first scene with that was also really good because like it starts out and he's just like playing like what is supposed to work.
The notes as they're written.
Yeah. Like he's playing like, you know, the scales and the notes that like make sense. But then like they keep saying like just let loose. Just like have fun with it.
It's there when he's playing Monin for the first time, and he's just playing the notes as they would be written out on a musical sheet perfectly. And he says like, no, that's not like, it doesn't sound anything like it. You have no swing. You've got no swing. And that's such an integral part of jazz.
And like, that's kind of a trope that you see pretty often in these. Like they do the same thing in Your Lie in April, which is like, again, what I compared this to a little bit. Because he's like, oh no, you're just playing the notes. You don't have the feeling or whatever. Yeah. And that's just classic trope, right?
Yeah.
It
works.
It makes
it works better in this because like jazz music. Yeah, it is like, you've really got to like get into it.
I agree.
Where in classical music, like the way they're grading you is exactly, you have to play exactly how it's written.
Right.
Where this, like, it's not a competition. They're just kind of playing and having a good time.
I did like that actually, that like there was no competition. There were no stakes with the music. It was just like,
there was almost a little competition, but it was kind of like a friendly one. But things happen and that doesn't really work out.
One thing that this kind of reminds me of too, and I'm just going to add on to, I forget whose point this was, but like when we reviewed Your Lie in April, I remember we had a pretty lengthy conversation about like, did you feel like all the things that are happening with the music, they would be like, oh, this is such a crazy song, or the way he's playing these notes is so transcendent, or something like that. In this one, they did less telling you how good they're playing, and they kind of just played, or like what they're feeling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you could tell, like what was supposed to be happening with the music? Did you feel like the music actually kind of like you're like, yeah, I do feel that way. Like the music does sound that way.
Yeah. What do you think, Jay? Because I do have a thought on this.
I think it still does have like those moments where like it kind of tells you what's going on, a little bit, but like not to the same degree. Like I'm thinking of this
not
one
so
scene
overtly.
Like a character is like really like banging on the drums, and it's just like kind of hard to keep up, and like a character's having these thoughts like, what's going on? Are you okay?
Yeah, there's a couple quote unquote music fights in this.
Yeah.
Jazz fights.
Yeah, for me, like I feel like, again, like I'm not a big jazz guy, but like I've heard jazz because of Cody. And yeah, like when somebody's feeling down and not quite like playing up to their standard, I could hear it. Like I could hear that, like you know, the main guy's kind of taking a solo on the piano, and he's kind of just like being very tentative with his key, the notes that he's playing, and like and they say like, come on, like just let it go. And I really like later on during one of their like jazz fights, the drummer is like banging away, and Jay, I think this was the scene you were talking about where like he's like, oh, he's clearly upset, and he's kind of just like banging the piano. You know, like he's not even playing anything, but I love that. It was really cool, the fact that like he got to this point where he wasn't concerned about what he was playing either. Like they were just expressing themselves with these instruments, and
I think like
it was
this show,
again, refreshing. Yeah.
To a certain extent, like it does respect the viewer a little bit more, where like it's like, okay, the context of the scene really lends itself to the music, whereas like in Your Lie in April, each of the songs were in more of a competition context, where like it was more focused on playing right or playing a certain way. Whereas this doesn't really concern itself with that.
I feel like this show, like Jay said, it had more respect for you. It didn't hold your hand, where something like Your Lie in April kind of told you like, oh, he's playing slightly off.
And like one thing the one that immediately comes to mind is like there's a point in the show where there's like a second band that comes into it. And like you could just kind of tell like that band really did sound like, okay, this is just like your typical like high school band. Like they're still pretty good for a high school band, but like I'll give them like it's still, but it just doesn't sound quite as like moving, I guess. And then all of a sudden you get like our two main guys here hop on, and then all of a sudden like you really do feel like, oh wow, this is like captivating. I could feel what the audience is feeling watching this, and I felt like the music in this captured that more so than Your Lie in April. And like it kind of leads into our next point, and we've kind of already talked about it a little, but like Cole, you and I used to play in a band together, and we're a little more versed in like playing actual music. Do you feel like this show sparked that passion for playing music for you, or did you get a different experience from this show as someone who played music? And I guess, or Jay, as someone who didn't play music, is there anything like you felt you learned in this one?
I don't know necessarily about learned, but like I definitely could see like there was a clear passion for the genre and the and the music that was being played here. Both on a composition level and a directorial level. Just like everything felt like the people working on this show really cared about making sure that the music and the animation of the people playing the music was on point.
I really feel like that's probably true, because I feel like Watanabe, his whole thing is he loves music and anime. He's a music guy.
Yeah.
And I feel like the difference between this and like a Your Lie in April, well, Your Lie in April, don't get me wrong, I feel like I'm trashing it. I really enjoy it. I do feel like this one, you kind of could tell that the person who directed it and the person who like, I'm assuming he probably had people actually record this just for the show. Like they're not recordings that he purchased the rights to. I kind of got that vibe.
I think there was a music composer for this.
Yeah. I probably really
for like
the music
OST
fits
stuff.
Yeah. The music really kind of fits a lot better. And I feel like that's what I felt. And like, kind of like Cole talked about earlier, like I feel like the scene where like the guys, they're playing in their band and you can tell like, oh, that person's kind of like, they're not comfortable yet. They're not really speaking with their instrument, which is, is cool to see that kind of on the screen. I felt like,
the question as it's written is, did the music spark passion in me? Not in the sense that like, oh, I got to run down and play my guitar, you know. Other shows have done that for me, but there's no guitar in this, so but like I definitely feel the passion in it, and I think that's what think that's what we're all saying. It makes me want to listen to jazz, I'll say that. It makes me want to grab some jazz music to listen to, but I mean, yeah, it's difficult because no, it didn't make me want to play, but it made me want to watch and listen and feel it, you know, I guess is what I would say.
I think we look at it differently. Like it didn't spark the passion to play the music, but I'd say it ignited, like it tickled the part of me that just loves like live music, that loves like the interactions between musicians playing. I'd say that's what sparked
for sure. Like, let's go to a jazz club. Let's go watch.
Let's go listen to some jazz, buddy.
Listen to some jazz. Smoke some cigarettes. Listen to some jazz. Yeah.
Smooth.
No, hard jazz. Hard jazz. I don't want to listen to no smooth shit.
Some avant-garde stuff, hey?
Yeah.
Free jazz. Let's go. Yeah.
Free jazz. Yeah. Speaking of free jazz, our last point is kind of an oddball one here. And I guess the only way to tackle this is just to say it. Were you surprised by Sentaro and Ritsuko being Christian?
So this was Jay's question.
So like, I don't know, normally when in anime, like everyone's just kind of like Buddhist, like that's just
or like a religious, like
that. Or a religious or like something like that. But like there's a scene where like Kaoru's like walking by a church or something and he sees like both of them in the church praying. And like I was like, whoa, that like you don't see that often.
Yeah, it's like a pretty major like thing. Like they're Catholic, to be specific. Like they Sentaro like wears his rosary like a necklace, and you're not supposed to do that apparently. I don't know. I'm not Catholic. And yeah, later on, like even it's a pretty major like revelation.
It's a major part
later
of
on.
Sentaro's character too.
Yeah. I mean, it was surprising for sure, in the same sense that you mentioned. Like you don't see Christianity often portrayed in anime, except for that movie that just recently came out, which was also about music, and they were also Christian. What was that? Colors Within.
Colors Within. Yeah.
I mean, in the sense that yes, I was surprised by it, but it didn't feel like it was overbearing as well. Like it was just kind of at the same time as it being important, it was also not.
It wasn't out of place. Like it was.
It made sense. Yeah. Like I said earlier, like all the character actions in this really make a lot of sense. Like they felt like a real thing a person would do.
Yeah. It makes it feel more real.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah. They're like basically orphans and like kind of just have this like religious tie. Like it makes a lot of sense. And especially when like, you find out, what's his name? Sentaro is like the child of a American soldier or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
And like, that also adds to it as well, right?
Yeah.
I felt anyway.
Yeah. And again, just to add to the realism of it, like there are Christians in Japan. So it makes it feel more legitimate that like you see something, I don't want to say strange, but like not often portrayed.
Here.
Yeah. So
it kind of goes back to our first point too, where it's like it's another unique part about the setting of this specific one, where like it just adds another layer of depth that you can be like, oh, that's kind of interesting about this. Like that's memorable for sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything else to add before we run into our final thoughts?
I really enjoyed the it's such a silly thing, but I always enjoy the like each episode had the title of like a jazz song. Like a
I thought that was
It's just like it's a little like that's quite nice. I know that reference. But like I do appreciate it. Yeah. And like each song kind of had like a little bit of a tie-in. Like each title had a bit of a tie-in to the episode, and it was like, interesting, nice. And it was cool to see like actual like famous jazz songs represented here. Yeah. Which like I feel instead of having like some like instead of Miles Davis, it's like, oh, this is Piles Kravis. You know, like
oh yeah, I did find it funny too. Like the album covers were like realistic.
Just slightly. Yeah.
It was like they put a filter over the real life album covers. So like it's an anime character holding a famous like Miles Davis with his face on it, and it's like Miles Davis's face, not an anime version of it.
Yeah.
It was like you said, like they put like an Instagram filter, like an anime Instagram filter on the actual album. Which Hey, save money when you can. Save time.
Yeah.
Just real quick, because we talk about this a lot in anime reviews. How'd you guys feel about the OP and the ED in the
Thank you, Jay. Thank you. I like the OP. It's Yuki, which again just reminds me of March Comes In Like a Lion. She does the second and third OP. It's well animated as well. Like it's unique too. Just I don't know. You don't see OPs like that. Like it's not really using like shots from the show. It's all pretty tailor made for the OP itself. The ED I found a little less interesting. But that's just me.
Yeah.
What did you think, Michael?
I thought they were both quite skippable and skipped them almost every time. I only watched it like really once just for like to understand what was going on. Yeah. I did feel that the ED had a little bit of I like skipping them sometimes because I find that if sometimes they'll like basically tell you what's going to happen in the show.
Yeah, the lyrics were a little like
on the nose.
Maybe, a little on the nose.
Yeah. And other than like they're fine. Jay, what did you think?
I know that this came out first, but like the first OP felt like a cheap knockoff of the first Your Lie in April OP.
Well, I got news for you, because it's the other way around, baby.
I know.
Yeah.
This one walked so Your Lie in April could run.
Yeah. But
I get that. Yeah.
But sure. I saw Your Lie in April first, so that's why I had that thought.
Yeah. No, I kind of had the same thing. Like you can't help but compare it. But this is there's a lot of threads tying them together, but it is a very different story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Final thoughts and
final thoughts. Yeah,
since
I go first.
I'll let her rip.
Well, my final thoughts are thus. I like to lead off with my rating, and then I can kind of discuss it further. I'm going all the way on this one, guys. I'm going certified, I think. I think this was a well done anime. I really we talked about the animation, the rotoscoping in it and everything. Like you really feel that passion for portraying the music realistically. I like the characters. I like the character interactions. I like the sad boy stuff, but that's just me. You know me.
Yep.
It also felt just very real, very genuine, and very down to earth, I would say. Like nothing too crazy happens, and anything that crazy happens happens within reason, you know, like nothing, we're not getting like a UFO abducting somebody. Like it's all genuine.
That's all in the manga.
Yeah, it's all genuine, and I appreciate it.
That's the stuff they cut.
Yeah. No, I'm going certified. I'm going certified here. And maybe you guys don't feel as high about it. And like on a scale of 1 to 10, I wouldn't give it a 10, but on our 5 through, like it does more than tickles my jimmies, I would say. So I got to go certified for it. What about you, Mike?
I think you've said a lot of really good points, and I feel like it's a kind of a refreshing show to watch, and I found myself intrigued just because it's so different. Like it obviously has some things that tie it to other anime like it, like we've compared to March Comes In Like a Lion, and we've compared it to Your Lie in April and all these other shows. But like I feel like this one, I can't honestly say that I've really watched an anime that's exactly like this, just because of all the jazz and detail to the music and stuff like that. And I felt like that really helped me enjoy this a little more.
Oh,
and
no.
The baby is crying. The poor baby.
We're almost done.
I know. Almost done. I think she just fell is what happened there.
Oh.
Yeah, she's learning to like stumble a bit.
Mm.
At the end of the day is how would I rate this one? And I think I'd also echo Cole on this one. I can't think of anything I would really change. It's not like sometimes when I do a certified, it's like, God damn it, that's a good show. Like that's the best thing I've ever seen. That's one of the best things I've ever seen. I feel like this one is it just clears the bar for a certified.
Yeah.
And that's just because of like the attention to detail and the passion that's clearly in this one. So yep, certified for me as well.
Jalen.
Yeah.
You go last.
I do go last. This is weird. I never that's not true. I do go last. I always go last. Because my name goes last. Because we're called Mike and Jay. But
this got off
your show this time.
Yeah.
I would echo a lot of what you guys said. This was clearly a passion project on the part of Shinichiro Watanabe, and honestly, like, in terms of the music and the and the animation of it, that was like, if you like music in any way, shape, or form, are someone who likes to play it, someone who likes to listen to it in like a very not obsessive way, but like how are, I guess, a connoisseur in of music, I'd say like definitely check this out if you like, or just like if you like music, check this out. It like Cole said at the start, it has some of the best music animation in anime, or like in probably anything music related.
Yeah, I haven't seen like Soul or anything like that, where it's pretty jazz based too. But
yeah.
But and that was probably the part that got me and hooked me the most out of anything. There was still definitely like really well written character drama there. And I think that the friendship between Sentaro and Kaoru really carried the show for me. With like some good romance stuff in there. Probably not like S tier romance stuff, but like, you know, it's serviceable.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I did enjoy the show, and I loved the jazz, which, like, I'm not a jazz fan, but like it still sucked me in.
You don't like jazz?
I didn't before I watched this show. But you know what? The jazz did get me, and it did tickle my jimmies.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I feel like it does a good job of like pulling you into the world of like all the cool stuff about jazz.
Yeah.
It gives you a taste of it all, which is yeah.
It's like palatable jazz. So don't get me wrong. There's a lot of jazz that I walk away from, I'll say, but the stuff in here is good. It's swingy. It's fun. It's fun jazz. Yeah. So we've got more reviews coming up. Our next manga review is Gachiakuta.
There you go. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I did it. And the fragrant flower blooms with dignity is after that. I did it again.
You did it again. Look at this guy.
I think we're still tabulating the results for our listener's choice.
So
we will have that for you in next week's episode. So you can't vote anymore. We're doing the math. We're feeding the algorithm to CodyBot, and he's calculating it.
It takes time.
Voting is closed. It takes time for us to add every one of them up. We go through, we look at every single ballot.
We grab the box that everyone put their ballot in, count them one by one. It takes some time.
I feel bad. It's election day in Canada as of recording tomorrow. Those poor election workers having to count all of that stuff. Anyway. One for this guy. But I don't. That's how they do it. They declare it. I declare this vote for this party. And that's how we do it too.
Yeah.
And that's also what we do. But yeah, the election, the results will be, the listener's choice results will be given to you next week. But until next week, thank you so much for listening to another episode of AniPro. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend about us. If you really like us, why don't you consider supporting us on patreon.com/AniPro, like these lovely people: Mr. Family Guy 36, Elijah Wood, Braindead, B-Dog, Peach, Frama, Kratos, Just Jazz, Mogmog, and Uncle of Light. By supporting us on Patreon, you get access to all sorts of perks, and it really helps out the show. We're also on social media at AniProPod, and please join our Discord community to keep up with us and other listeners. Links to everything is in the description or at our website, AniProPod.com. I think it's my turn to lead us in a round of bye-byes.
Sounds about right.
Mike, grab your drumsticks. Jay, grab your xylophone.
Okay. Hold on. Drumsticks are out.
Okay. And I'm going to grab the kazoo. And we're gonna play out. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I think you got to hit the button this time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.